day! Welcome to Learning Module in Health 9 Lesson 4.
Lesson number 4. Myths, Conceptions, Signs and Symptoms of Drug Abuse. Our objectives. At the end of the lesson, the learners should be able to 1. Analyze myths and misconceptions about substance use and abuse. Number 2. Describe signs and symptoms of possible substance use and abuse among adolescents. And number 3. Conduct an interview about myths, misconceptions, signs and symptoms of substance use and abuse. Before we proceed to our discussion, let us answer this test. True or false? Write T if the statement is correct. Write F if the statement is incorrect. Write your answer on the space before each number. Let's begin. Number 1. Drugs of abuse help in the digestion of food. Number 2. Drugs of abuse place a user in a dangerous and life-threatening situation. 3. Drugs of abuse worsen life's problems and worries. 4. Drugs of abuse heat up the body. And number 5. Drugs of abuse do not improve memory. You may start now. And now, let's check. If you got the same answer, congratulations! Alright class, let's have first a recap. Match column A with column B. Write the letter of your answer on the blank before the number. Let's begin. Time's up. And now, let's check. If you got the same answer, very good and congratulations! People give several reasons for taking drugs. Some believe that these drugs can make them feel and look good. Certain drugs of abuse produce pleasure or euphoria. Euphoria is the highest sensation of feeling good and extremely relaxed. Euphoria is a sensation brought about by the chemical reactions of the neurotransmitters in the brain. Thus, drugs affect your brain process. Continuous and prolonged drug use has a very bad effect in a person. It can alter his behavior and his mental, physical, and psychological condition. Most importantly, Drug dependence result in drug abuse, drug tolerance, problems with society and law, withdrawal symptoms, severe health problems, poor of quality of life, and eventually death. Okay, class, let's talk about myths and misconceptions about drugs of abuse. The following are the myths and misconceptions and the facts about drugs of abuse. To start with, drugs of abuse improve memory. But the truth is, drugs of abuse do not improve memory. Drugs of abuse help in the digestion of food. The fact is, drugs of abuse do not help in the digestion of food. Drug of abuse make a person bold and brave. But the truth is, drugs of abuse place a user in a dangerous and life-threatening situation. Drugs of abuse remove life's problems and worries. But the fact about this, drugs of abuse worsen life's problems and worries. Lastly, drugs of abuse eat up the body. But the fact about this, drugs of abuse do not heat up the body. Instead, they make the body lose heat faster than normal. Are you curious about the profile of a drug abuser? The Dangerous Drugs Board listed the following signs and symptoms of drug abuse. It is important to note that having a few of these signs doesn't immediately make a person a drug user. Therefore, observation of physical, mental, emotional, and social behaviors must be carefully done to confirm if a person is a drug user. Below are some of the signs and symptoms of drug use. Declining interest in studies and work. Identification with known drug users. Negative outlook in life. Uncontrolled irritation. Paranoia or fear that people always talk and talk about him or her. Severe feeling of depression and loneliness. Complaints of overfatigue, psychological or physiological. Frequent involvement in petty fights and crimes. Frequent changes of mood and extreme mood swings. Lousy physical appearance, reddish eyes. Sudden loss in weight. Frequent complaints of headache and stomach pains. Brown stains on fingertips. Foul body smell. And also, wearing of sunglasses even at night. Loss of balance. Loss of interest in sports and hobbies. Poor judgment and loss of inhabitation. And loss of concentration. To check your understanding, let's try to answer the following activities. Activity number 1. Make an interview for 3 persons. They can be professionals, students, or somebody within your family and friends. Get their profile and include the following in the interview questions. A. Myths and misconceptions of drug use and abuse. B. Signs and symptoms of drug use and abuse. And for activity number 2, Table of Signs. List the signs and symptoms of drug use and abuse based from the interviews. List them according to the changes they cause in a person. It's either physical changes, mental changes, emotional changes, social changes, or moral spiritual changes. To wrap up our discussion, Make an acrostic poem about breaking the myths and misconceptions about drugs. Use the letters of the words "Say No to Drugs" as the first letter of each stanza. Use this as your example. At this point, write a reflection on the things you learned in this lesson and their relevance to you. Tell how you can apply what you learned in your daily life and cite specific instances in which you feel these learnings will come handy. And to check your understanding for our discussion for today, answer this post-test. Fact or bluff? Write fact if the statement is correct, and write bluff if the statement is not correct. Okay class, let's start. Time's up. Let's check. If you got the same answer, congratulations! Thank you, and see you on our next lesson.